be a song leader. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Please rise in body and or spirit and join in singing our opening hymn, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of the change. Don't be afraid of the change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Very nice. Good morning. Happy Father's Day. And welcome to the Unitarian Universalists of Sarasota summer services, when our minister, Reverend Jay Wolin, is on his summer break. Much deserved. My name is Mary Lou Casadeval Keller, and I serve this congregation as a member of the worship committee and as co-chair of both the Rainbow Alliance and the Green Team. I cherish this beloved community gathered to make the world a better place, and I thank you all for being here. Please get involved in some of our many activities and enrich us with your presence. We especially want to welcome any visitors on both on campus and on live stream. Hi. We invite our visitors to participate in any of our events. We welcome you to find out more about us and Unitarian Universalism by registering on our virtual guest book, which you can find via the link on our homepage of our website at uusrq.org. If you're here in person, there's a sign-up sheet for visitors at the welcome table. And if you sign up, we'll send you our weekly newsletter and Zoom links to our virtual events. We invite everyone to join us for conversation and refreshments after the service. Members, please be sure to greet any visitors on your way out of the service and during coffee hour. They will have on the paper name tags, and first-time visitors have on red borders. You never know who might become your new friend. Our service here this morning was prepared by Scott Rubin, another member of our worship committee. Scott has been a member here for 5 years and a UU for more than 35 years. During that time, he has led dozens of worship services. He calls himself a traditional Unitarian Universalist whose thoughts about life and religion are constantly evolving as he learns more about numerous faith traditions. As we'll hear this morning, his inspirations come from many places: traditional Jewish and Christian scriptures, prophetic men and women, humanist teachings, and more. We have a couple special announcements. After the service today, please grab some refreshments and enjoy social time in the Lexau wing, because it's hot out. And then stay at noon in the Lexau wing to enjoy the Unitarian Universalist Annual General Assembly Sunday worship service. On the big screen, it's in the Lexau wing. It's a wonderful opportunity to experience the depth and breadth of being part of the larger UU community, and it has excellent speakers and musicians. June is Lesbian, Gay, Bisexual, and Transgender Pride Month. Woo! Happy Pride! And next Sunday at our monthly meeting in Potluck after the service, the Rainbow Alliance will be showing a video on the Stonewall riots. It's the anniversary of the Stonewall riots, June 28th. and the progression of LGBTQ+ rights in America. Please join us for this educational and inspiring video, which shows the power of anger, today's topic, channeled into action. And we're so pleased this morning to be able to share on our screen some of the artwork from this year's Embracing Our Differences exhibition. They graciously gave Scott permission to use some of that work to help illustrate his message this morning. But before we hear from Scott, we are pleased to welcome back Hermann Berndt to our sanctuary to share his gift of music. Welcome, Hermann. was lovely. Thank you, Hermann and Don. Thank you. Our opening words today are from the Reverend Sunshine J. Wolfe. This is a congregation that gathers in faith, not faith in one religion or one God or any one way. We gather in faith for the power of diversity, the power of love, and the hope of a world transformed by our care. We gather in faith in ourselves and those around us. Not a faith that requires perfection or rightness in one another. Rather, a faith that in our shared imperfection, we may learn to stumble and fall together. Faith that we will help one another rise and to try again and again. We are Unitarian Universalists. Now, please join me in the reading the words for the chalice lighting by the Reverend Dr. Cynthia Landrum. Faith of our faith, call us into the community of love and justice this morning and every morning. Now, Captain Bonner.
Good morning, everyone. Before I do the story today, I just wanted to share with you a shirt I just purchased for Pride Month, and it's a rainbow shirt with rainbow striped hearts on it, and it says, "You are safe with me." But there's also a message on the back that you'll have to come see me in the Lexau wing after the service, where I will get you to volunteer for something as part of our commitment to each other. So now for our story. Today's story is Mad Isn't Bad, and an adaptation by the book by Michaeline Mundy and illustrated by R.W. Alley. Sometimes we get angry and have to sit in time out, though you might want to say, "It's not fair," with a shout. But feelings like happiness and sadness, fear and anger are all part of being alive. Go ahead, feel your feelings. They are what help you survive. You might think that to be angry, it's bad to be angry, but that's not true. It's how you show your anger that sometimes can be a problem for you. Anger is like fire, sometimes good, sometimes out of control. And anger can be good when it gives you the energy to work on a problem to solve, or when your team is losing a game. Anger can put more power in your moves that were previously tame. Anger can make you feel like you're going to explode. Your hands want to grab or hit or have something to throw, and your feet want to stomp and kick or run down the road. Your voice wants to yell. Your voice wants to cry. Your body gets hot and your blood pressure high. Unless you let out your anger in a safe way, you may just keep blaming others or yourself, and mad you will stay. This doesn't feel good and gets you nowhere. So think of some ways to let out the energy and anger. You might find yourself laughing about it later. When something makes you angry, you don't have to do something about it right then. Stop and count to 10. And think about the best thing to do or say, because deep down, you know there's a better way. And it's natural to want to blame someone else for making you mad, but you're the one who's angry, and you are the one who can do something to tame that. When you're angry, we can hurt people as much by what we say as by what we do. We can hurt their feelings. Angry words hurt as much as hitting, to both them and to you. Don't destroy something when you're angry, your own things or someone else's. You'll probably regret it later when you've calmed down, and then it may be hard to fix the damage. People may do or say things that make you angry, even though they may not know it. And sometimes you might feel frustrated when you can't fix a problem, and sometimes things just go wrong. It's not anybody's fault, but if you're angry, it's okay to show it. But it helps to know exactly what you're mad at. Think about that before you're mean to the cat. So if you find yourself angry, take a deep breath and let it out slowly. It should help you think more clearly. A hint, though, you might have to take this breath more often than once, I fear. It may help to write a note to let someone know what's bothering you, or draw a picture of how you feel and share it with someone who cares about you. Other safe ways to express anger, ways that don't harm others or yourself: punch a pillow or stomp on packing bubbles. I'll have some of those too. Or run around outside, or find a place to scream at the top of your lungs, or simply take a time out or go for a ride. Go to a quiet place, maybe out on the swing or under a tree, or talk to someone about how you feel. Think about the people you love and respect. How do they handle their mad? Ask them about good ways to deal with anger so that no one feels too bad or sad. But the best way to handle anger is to let the person who made you mad know, not by yelling or whining, but by going slow. And when someone gets angry with you, listen to the reasons. Listening is important because it helps you understand the other person's side versus he said or she said. And if you hurt someone or break something in anger, say, "I'm sorry." Promise them and yourself to do better the next time. Just because you or someone else is angry doesn't mean you don't still love each other. You might need to say or hear, "I love you," and then talk with each other about why you're so bothered. Everybody gets angry sometimes, and it's okay to be mad, but use that energy to make someone glad and not sad or mad, and to make you feel less bad. I now invite any children or youth here today to join me and Miss Kristen in the West Wing as we learn more about big feelings and how to channel that energy. Thank you.
The words, she is taller than I am. The words for our offertory are adapted from Reverend Heather Christensen. Let's read them together. They're in the order of service and behind me. Unitarian Universalism is a grand vision of a world filled with peace and justice, love and joy. We depend on each one of us by our commitment of time, energy, and resources to help make that grand vision real. We will now gratefully accept your offering. Please be as generous as you can. For those online or those here with your cell phone, there's a link to donate in the description of the YouTube video or the QR code in your order of service. Let this sacred time begin.
Good morning. We have two short readings this morning from the Jewish and Christian scriptures. I'm guessing you won't hear either of these read in too many worship services, UU or otherwise, but here goes. First, from Exodus chapter 33, verses 15 to 20. Moses turned and went down from the mountain, carrying the 2 tablets of the covenant in his hands. As soon as he came near the camp and saw the calf and the dancing, Moses' anger burned hot, and he threw the tablets from his hands and broke them at the foot of the mountain. He took the calf that they had made, burned it with fire, ground it to powder, scattered it on the water, and made the Israelites drink it. Hang on. Our next reading is from Matthew, chapter 21, verses 18 and 19. In the morning, when Jesus returned to the city, he was hungry. And seeing a fig tree by the side of the road, he went to it and found nothing at all on it but leaves. Then he said to it, "May no fruit ever come from you again." And the fig tree withered at once. Well, how's that for a cheery start to Father's Day? Now, normally on Father's Day, I would start with a dad joke or a little story that pokes fun at the silly things some of us do as fathers or caregivers. Sorry, not today. Instead, I'm going to start with a short video clip of our governor. After signing a bill on April 22nd to prohibit local governments from supporting diversity, equity, and inclusion programs.
I would say it's an ideological construct that is designed to promote a particular political agenda, particularly to the detriment of disfavored groups. I would think with DEI, the disfavored groups, number one, obviously, would be white males.
And no, that's no joke. Okay, let's be clear about 4 facts. 1, this is not about politics. This is about government. The sitting governor of our state actually said this while signing a new law that takes effect when he leaves office in January. 2, I'm a white heterosexual male. 3, I am not being discriminated against. And 4, I am angry. Now let me state the obvious here. For all the anger I may feel, my anger is nothing compared to the anger of people actually being discriminated against. Pretty much everyone who is not a straight white male. As a straight white man, I don't understand what it feels like to be the object of real discrimination. I can't understand what it's like to be gay or lesbian and afraid to show the world who I love for fear of being mocked, fired from my job, disowned by my family, denied housing, beaten, or worse. That's discrimination, but I can't understand what it feels like. I can't understand what it's like to be transgender, especially in Florida right now. Treated as a non-person, told I must use the wrong bathroom, told my driver's license can't identify me as I really am. Harassed, threatened, harmed, or worse. That's discrimination. But I can't understand what it feels like. I can't understand what it's like to be black or brown and afraid to leave my home, living in constant fear of being abused by police, assaulted, or worse. That's discrimination. But I can't understand what it feels like. I can't understand what it's like to be a woman, being judged by her appearance, leered at, grabbed, propositioned, verbally and physically assaulted, prohibited from controlling my own body. That's discrimination. But I can't understand what that feels like. As hard as I try, I can't put myself in your shoes. All I can do is say, I hear you, I see you, I honor you, I respect you, and I love you. But let me explain why I'm so angry. I'm angry because some white men are pretty horrible people, and it's giving all of us a bad name. Wherever you get your news, you can't help but get the impression that white men are pigs. Am I telling the truth or not? I don't know. Who puts on clerical robes, abuses children, and then helps cover it up for decades? White men. Who closes polling places in Black and Latino neighborhoods? White men. Who denies Native Americans their right to vote? Who tears apart brown families at the border and throws children in cages? White men. Who builds concentration camps, let's call them what they are, to house Black and brown immigrants who are just trying to keep their families safe, better their lives, and improve our communities? White men. Someone shoots up a school or a church or a synagogue or a mosque or a gay nightclub or an abortion clinic, you can bet it's a white man. And this is nothing new. This weekend, we join our African American neighbors in celebrating Juneteenth, a holiday that commemorates the emancipation of enslaved people in this country. But let's not forget, the holiday commemorates June 19th, 1865, the day when white men finally got around to informing the enslaved people of Texas that they had been freed. Yes, that date is correct. General Lee had surrendered more than 2 months earlier. Enslaved people had been freed by the Emancipation Proclamation 2.5 years earlier. But people remained enslaved in Texas because apparently it wasn't a priority for white men to make sure everyone knew. I'm angry at this country, and in particular, I'm angry at white men who refuse to grow up and move us forward. It's hard for... That's not supposed to be an applause line. It's hard for me to watch the news or even think about politics and government anymore because I just get angry. So, what do I do with this anger? First, I take solace in the fact that some incredible human beings have been angry too. That's why I chose those brief readings from the Jewish and Christian scriptures this morning. Moses got so mad at the Israelites for building an idol, the golden calf. He smashed the original tablets given to him by God. Now, for any millennials here, let me pause and explain. When I say tablets, okay, I'm not talking about iPads, okay? These were the stone tablets that were carved with the commandments from God. And Jesus, peaceful, loving Jesus, had some anger issues too. He's hungry, he wants some figs, and he finds a fig tree with no fruit on it. He gets so angry, he kills the tree. A tree. What did that poor tree ever do to him? So at least I'm not alone. If Jesus and Moses can get angry, then it's probably okay for me too. Now, I'll ask you all to please remain seated and sing the first verse of We Are a Gentle, Angry People. Unitarian Universalists. We question and seek answers. So join me this morning as I search for answers to a question that's been bothering me. You can probably guess. Is it enough to be angry? Is anger the end or only the beginning? Is there a constructive way to move beyond anger? Now, you think you have issues with someone in your family tree. Imagine being Mahatma Gandhi's grandson. Talk about pressure. His name was Arun Gandhi, and he had anger issues growing up. He was the victim of prejudice, and he wanted to lash out. One day, after he'd been tripped and taunted by white boys while playing soccer, he had a chat with his grandfather. Arun related the story in his book, The Gift of Anger. After Arun apologized to his grandfather for getting angry, he remembers the conversation like this, with his grandfather saying, "I am glad to see you can be moved to anger. I get angry all the time." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "I have never seen you angry, grandfather, because I have learned to use my anger for good. Anger to people is like gas to the automobile. It fuels you to move forward and get to a better place. Without it, we would not be motivated to rise to a challenge. It is an energy that compels us to define what is just and unjust." That's worth repeating. Anger fuels us to move forward and compels us to define justice. Martin Luther King Jr. also shared some wisdom about anger. Just 2 months before he was murdered, Dr. King gave an address at Carnegie Hall to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the birth of W.E.B. Du Bois. The speech is a beautiful tribute to Dr. Du Bois, who was a brilliant scholar and courageous leader. Near the end of the speech, Dr. King explains what Dr. Du Bois learned about the study of history and sociology. Quote, "History had taught him it is not enough for people to be angry. The supreme task is to organize and unite people so that their anger becomes a transforming force." End quote. Anger becomes a transforming force. Now, I don't know about you, but for me, when Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King agree, it's time to pay attention. Let me be so bold as to try to put their wisdom into one sentence. Anger is a transforming force that compels us to move forward and define justice. And justice is sorely needed in our society today. So let our anger be the transforming force that moves us to justice. Let's still remain seated and sing again from "We Are a Gentle, Angry People," this time verse 2.
Singing
The parable of the Good Samaritan is one of the most famous of Jesus's teachings. In Luke chapter 10, the lesson is related in part like this. A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho when he was attacked by robbers. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him, and went away, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going by down the same road, and when he saw the man, he passed by on the other side. But a Samaritan, as he traveled, came where the man was, and when he saw him, he took pity on him. He went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. Judaism is defined by its focus on laws, commandments, justice. To my untrained eye, Jesus called on us to temper Judaic notions of justice with love. We just heard a portion of the story of the Good Samaritan. To put that in some context, the Samaritans were the sworn enemies of the Jews during that time. So in modern language, this could be the story of the white nationalist helping the injured immigrant of color, or Shia helping Sunni, or Palestinian helping Israeli, or insert whatever warring factions help you understand the radical love shown in this story. Think about what must have been going through the mind of the Samaritan. Here is one of my sworn enemies in trouble, injured and on the verge of dying. What should I do? How much harm has been inflicted on my people during the war with the Jews? Here's my chance for revenge or retribution or justice. I don't have to do anything. I can just leave him here bleeding. But love wins. Love, not the blind pursuit of justice, should help guide our actions. Jesus' teaching is perhaps best summed up in the book of Romans, where he is quoted as saying, "Owe no one anything except to love one another. For the one who loves another has fulfilled the law. The commandments, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not murder, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and any other commandment are summed up in this word: love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no wrong to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law." Love is the fulfilling of the law. It is not enough to seek justice. You must administer it with love. Fast forward almost 2,000 years, Martin Luther King Jr. wrote in his autobiography, "Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice. Justice at its best is love correcting everything that stands against love." And a little more recently, Mother Teresa, now Saint Teresa, made this even simpler to understand when she said, "Justice without love is not justice. Love without justice is not love." Our anger can move us forward to seek justice, but that justice must be coupled with love. Justice without love is not justice. Now, I know this is getting difficult. Let me review. Use our anger to seek justice, not retribution, not lock them up and throw away the key, but fairness in accordance with the law and society's norms. Then take it to a higher plane and temper that justice with love, not punishments that fit the crime, but results that allow us to maintain our humanity and treat each person with dignity, love, and respect. That's really hard. Can we bring ourselves to allow love to guide our actions, even when seeking justice for those who have harmed our country, our state, our community, our neighbors, and ourselves? Once more, we sit and sing from We Are a Gentle, Angry People, this time the final verse.
We are gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives. We are gentle, loving people, and we are singing, singing for our lives.
We're not done yet. We still have a little more answer seeking to do. Is it enough to temper justice with love, or is there even a higher goal we can strive toward? Now we move from the difficult to the seemingly impossible, where our faith as Unitarian Universalists takes us beyond justice coupled with love to an almost superhuman place. Love unrestrained by justice, or in a word, grace. Undeserved, unearned kindness and love. Justice ideally is designed to give us what we deserve. Love can lessen the blow, but grace gives us more than we deserve. In his book, What's So Amazing About Grace, Philip Yancey writes about his view of grace. It's a very Christian perception that I have trouble accepting. He believes that grace is a Christian concept that was foreign to the Jews of Jesus' time and had no parallel in other religions. In short, grace came to earth as a gift from God through Jesus. Not, or at least for me, not a very graceful theory. In fact, I don't believe that grace comes from God. I believe that grace comes from people and is given to people. You can call that wishful thinking or naive, or perhaps we can call it what it is, the very heart of humanism. Grace. Give someone the benefit of the doubt. Give someone a second or third or fourth chance. Forgive the unforgivable. Yancey tells some wonderful stories of grace. I'll only share part of one story this morning. Larry Trapp, the grand dragon of the Ku Klux Klan in Nebraska, tormented Michael Weiser, a Jewish cantor and rabbi. Trapp sent Weiser and his family hate mail, mocking Jews, denying that the Holocaust ever took place, made threatening phone calls to the Weiser's home, and even said he would bomb the synagogue. What would have been fair or just? What should Trapp's fate have been? The story continues with Trapp blind and confined to a wheelchair, his legs amputated because of diabetes. You're thinking maybe that's some form of justice, but that's not how the story ends. The Weiser family invites Trapp to live with them so they can take care of him. Trapp said, "They showed me such love that I couldn't help but love them back." Larry Trapp spent the final months of his life living with the Weisers, seeking forgiveness from Jewish and African American groups, renouncing hatred, and ultimately converting to Judaism. Undeserved kindness and love. Not grace from God, not some religious theory of grace, but grace on a much more personal level. The grace of one person going out to another person. Non-judgmental, unconditional love. Would anyone have blamed the Weiser family if they had renounced Larry Trapp, organized protests against the Klan, and tried to have him arrested for hate crimes? Would any of us shed a tear if Trapp had died in a prison hospital, unloved and unwanted? It would be fair. Justice would be done. Amazing grace. Grace is a fundamental part of our universalist heritage, a rejection of traditional notions of punishment and damnation, replacing them with universal salvation. No one is beyond redemption. No one is forever punished in the afterlife. Every person, no matter how unforgivable their actions may seem, will be forgiven. Every person is worthy of dignity, love, and respect. Grace takes us beyond justice. Grace is more than love. It elevates the human experience to a higher level. Grace allows us to show love and compassion for those who have wronged us. Grace allows us to be forgiven by our family, friends, and neighbors. Grace lets us work toward a world filled with love and understanding, rather than jails and detention centers filled with hatred and bigotry. Please remain seated as we sing the first verse of hymn 205, Amazing Grace.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Thank you for searching for answers with me this morning. We heard about using our anger as a transformative force to seek justice. Then sages, both ancient and modern, taught us that we need to temper that justice with love. Our search ends with grace, taking us beyond justice balanced with love to unconstrained, undeserved love, even forgiving what seems unforgivable. Imagine how different our world would look if we all walked the path from anger to justice, love, and grace. Can I ever achieve a state of grace? Can you? It gives us something to contemplate as we take a moment for silent reflection. thank you, Hermann, for sharing your gift of beautiful music with us this morning. Now, if we could all please rise as you are willing and able for the singing of hymn 123, Spirit of Life, and remain there for our closing words. Our words for extinguishing the chalice and concluding the service are adapted from Craig Rowland. As we extinguish this flame, may we carry its warmth into the world, not as a memory, but as a promise that you deserve a place where your voice matters, where your laughter is treasured and your silence is honored. You deserve a circle that sees your scars and your strength, your doubts and your radiance, and holds them all with care. Let us be that circle for one another, a community of fierce welcome, wild grace, and radical hope. Go knowing you belong here. You always have. Thank you for worshiping with us this morning. We hope to see you here again next week.
Good service.
you.